Finally, we're also going to talk about diversity for love language. Are you familiar with the love language by Gary Chapman? Yes. So he says, if you want your relationship, your romantic relationship to be sustainable, you have to admit that maybe you and your partner may have different love language. Here's the problem with love language. We have a tendency to project that if this is my love language, I'm going to apply it to you, and I want you to do the same thing to me. But that's where the challenge is. You cannot force people to have a different love language if it's not their love language. That's why people separate ways, because they don't speak in the same way. So according to Gary Chapman, you have to embrace that if someone is not into service or time, you have to love them for who they are, and sometimes you have to be the one to adjust. So as an example, I'm also into time, because I'm also time poor, but I'm not much into gifts. Even if you give me an amazing car or a Rolex watch, it will not make me feel that I'm loved. I want you to share it via time, or sometimes I'm an insecure person who wants words of affirmation. Meaning when I wake up in the morning, I want you to say, I love you. And if you don't do that, I don't feel loved anymore. Some people are like that. And sometimes for the relationship to sustain, you have to communicate that to your partner so that they can work on it. Why am I obsessed with this? This also applies in the corporate world. There's also love language between you and your employees. And psychological safety is championing the fact that as leaders, we ought to know and investigate what's the love language of our people. Why is it important? You might be the type of boss who's into gift giving as your love language. Sure, you buy a box of pizza every Friday afternoon, you treat them for lunch, and you suddenly think that you're the best boss in town just because you spend for these things. But is it really what your people want? They will appreciate the box of pizza, but they want is time. I want you to spend more time coaching me and mentoring me because I don't know how to use this software. I don't know how to use this app. You might be giving them so many pizzas and coffee and whatever, but their love language is words of affirmation. Meaning, I want you to tell me if I'm doing it right or wrong. But that's not your love language. Some bosses will be like, it's so cheesy to say, good job. It's so cheesy to say, amazing. I'm not that type of boss. Yes, you're not, but your people are. And sometimes, even if you find it cringy to simply say, congratulations, that was an amazing presentation, you ought to say it because that's how they feel reinforced about their work. Sometimes you have to embrace that philosophy. That is also love language. Leaders are chameleons.